what's up, Scott Balker, with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is December 15th. Yeah, don't let that little first number thing, 12, fool you. December 15th, 2023, and it's Friday. That only means one thing. That's right, traffic is going to suck. Unless you're already home and enjoying a lovely live stream like I am. My commute is an amazing commute. I was here, and now I'm here. And I can always tell I should be right here because there's a little piece of tape right here that actually should be right here. That says, this is the center, Scott, so that you're not blocking the window. So how is everyone doing today? How are you? Are you feeling great? Are you feeling grand? Are you feeling excited? Are you looking forward to that traffic? Because your afternoon drive home with Scott is about to be really on fire. That's right. It's a good day. It's a good day. Everything is going along swimmingly. iEdit says, "Happy Friday, all. Happy Friday, iEdit." You need a first name though. I can't call you iEdit anymore. It's got to be a first name that way, because iEdit just sounds weird. Swiss Army Cinema. Howdy, Scott. Hello, Swiss. How are you? Brandon Talbot. Well, hello there. How are you? I am doing well. And Gregory says, "Happy Asynchronous Friday." It is an asynchronous Friday, isn't it? Isn't every Friday asynchronous? I feel like it should be. At the very least, it is a day that ends in Y. Why? Because it just does. Adam. Now, the test is, will I remember it? Probably not. I'll probably go, "Hey, iEdit. Hey, we need a first name from you." Adam. I'll try. I'll do my best. You know what that's worth. Let's see here. Timmy says, "Oh, hey-oh. Gregory says, "Hey, Brandon. Did y'all happen to catch Brandon Talbot's video that he did on his channel, Caffeinated Cameras? If not, you should, for several reasons. Number one, it's a cool video about a cool camera that he got to play with. Number two, it's a fantastic example of storytelling, and I'm not saying that because he's down here. I'm saying it because that was really good storytelling. I really liked that so much. I kind of wish I could do that. Maybe I can someday. I don't know. I'm afraid to, probably. But the quality of telling that story and the way it was told on film, perfect. Johnny Brooks says, "Good evening, Scott." Good evening, Johnny. How are you? Gregory says, "Hey, Tim. Incredible stuff. Loved it. It was really good. It was really good. It was really good." Brandon says, "Thanks for helping me. Had me dying." I hope I hope one day there's some blooper reels coming out on that one, because it was it's hard to do when when one character breaks, everybody else starts to break. It's just the way it works, and it's hilarious because I try like crazy to keep a straight face. And then Brandon breaks, and then I have a delayed break, but I'm not quite over it when I start, and then I break, and then it's just, it's such fun. I had a blast, Brandon. Thank you for having me on there, my little part. I mean, it wasn't the leading role. It was more of a number 2 role, but it's a little. You took the joke. Dadgummit. Tim says, "It was so damn good." It was so damn good. Who does number 2 work for? It was a wonderful story. Jared liked your part. I mean, it's pretty much a known that I'm gonna take it to the limit that I can, because limits are fun. Right, Rex? Rex says, "Yep, limits are fun." How's our sync today? Are we in sync? Are we out of sync? Are we partially in sync? Are we slightly in sync? Or what is it? I think, I hope I'm going to do my very, very, very best. The salt and pepper should be available on Monday. Yeah, I've been burning lids. It's hard to see, but burning label lids. Wow, this is really difficult to do backwards. The salt and pepper lids. Burning them like crazy over here on the Laser Pecker 4. Kind of fun to say. And yeah, I hope what really needs to happen now. We need to have. I told Cynthia we're going to have a little salt and pepper party right after the live stream, and we're just going to go in there, drink some wine, and assemble packages. And I'm going to try to get some pepper going, which I need to remind her. Did you write down on the screen? Yep, there we go. I'm going to try to get some pepper going. So what I will have at the bare minimum is 40 jars of pepper and 40 jars of salt. Almost certainly, we will have 100 to 120 jars of salt available on Monday, and potentially by Tuesday or Wednesday, we should have an additional 80 jars of pepper. I have no idea if this is going to sell or not. It honestly doesn't bother me one bit because we use this stuff like crazy. We already give a ton to our daughter and her husband. They use it like crazy. They're always out. They're like, I need more. It's good stuff. Yeah, it's a passion. It's kind of a fun thing. And then I will do my my final thing that I said I was going to do for a while. I really wanted to do it on another subject, but it's almost impossible. No one will let you do that. But about how to bring a product to market, which Gregory can speak to, Red can speak to. A lot of you actually out there have products out there, and it's not easy to bring a product to market. And what seems like a simple thing, and somebody will go, "Oh, really? You're just slapping a bunch of salt into a jar and selling it for money." Yeah, that's not bringing a product to market. So we'll see. Hopefully Monday. Hopefully. Oh, Patrick says, happy out of sync Friday. It is a happy out of sync Friday. Swiss Army Cinema. Man, even my mouse is out of sync. Nope. Not even close. Not even close. Yeah, out of sync. Let's try the. See if this works. So I'm out of sync now. I'm going to pull out the AirPods. I'm going to go down here because this does work sometimes stupidly. I don't know why. Show Bluetooth devices, and we're going to. That was a Alanis Morissette song. And there we go. It's connected. So, are we in sync now? How's this? I think we'll see how it is. I really don't know what to do. It is frustrating with the out of sync. Yeah, lids looking fine. Oh, thank you very much. Wait, it's called a laser. No, it's not, Brandon. It's called a Laser Pecker 4. It is it's a dual laser, and it's a mirror base, so you do this number. it's pretty interesting. I'd say for the most part it's good, but it's extremely frustrating because nothing works the way it should. I mean, I literally this is a nice circle. Do you remember in school when we say, draw a circle? That's a circle. So I draw a circle on the software, Lightburn, and I measure it and I get it all lined up, and then it prints out as an egg. For no reason. That's not the way it's supposed to be, but that's the way it is. So I had to squash it. It's now a horizontal egg, and it prints out fine. So whatever. I am tired of messing with it, that's for sure. I just want to print them so I can say, hey, we actually started shipping salt and pepper. Yep, Chinese marketing at its finest, indeed. Where can you buy what? You talk about the salt and pepper or the Laser Pecker 4? The salt and pepper will be available at scottybgoods.com. It's not up yet, so it'll just say coming soon or something like that. Scotty B Goods is going to be the website, and I chose that one because it was like Johnny Be Good, but Scotty Be Good, and then Goods, so that eventually, if I could ever get around to it and get a T-shirt design or anything like that, I can sell that through there too. And then there's like one place everybody can go for stuff that is touched by me. I don't know. Gregory says, we're going to need a round of applause. A sync is variable. You just need a constant clap. But then you wouldn't know which one it is. It has to be a random clap. So, yeah, it's this. It's because these connect at 44 kilohertz instead of 48. I don't know. I'm already sold. Oh boy, not easy at all. Sync minus 0.02. Interesting. Wow, audio first for about a second. That's not easy to do because that means that you have to get into my brain and project outward what I'm going to say next before I even say it. That's not easy. It's not out of sync. Stop watching when you drive. It's a security feature. Evening securing the bag, Scott. No. Evening securing the bag. I don't even know what that means, but all right, cool. Sounds like you've activated the rotary option on Lightburn. Oh, I have, but I'm not using that right now. But on the lids, no, I'm not. I'm just using the internal, because the Laser Pecker 4 has a rotary, so you can rotate them jars. It gotta go. Ooh, I should try to. And then it also has a sliding tray, so you can get really big pieces cut. And then it just has internal. What I found out was the rotary and the sliding tray has a max speed of 4,500 millimeters per minute. It's not that fast. But if you take all those off and just use the internal mirrors, which you only can print something this big, no big deal. 50,000 millimeters per minute. Yeah, that's considerable. It's like 12 times faster. So yeah. Brandon says synced, and then Brandon said the different Brandon tested the Nisis all week. I'm a fan. Interesting. Which one's your least favorite? Interested in that one because I have a least favorite of it, and it's not that bad of a favorite. I mean, it's not a this one sucks. It's just one of them is not as cool as the others, but it could just be me. You never know. Hey, Chingda, fish eye tilt shift lens. Not only that, but anamorphic fisheye tilt shift lens. Do that. Do that. At Chung, we have this ongoing conversation. He approached me. We were at NAB, and he was like, I want to do this, and I don't know how to do it. And he can put it if he wants to. I'm not going to spill his thing. And I'm like, I don't know how you would do that either. And then we sat there and we rattled off like 74 different options back and forth. I contacted several people, and they're all like, I don't know how you. I'm not sure. There was kind of one way to do it, but he's just not going to do it. I don't know. So now he's migrated on to fisheye tilt shift lens. Gregory says, not too fond of the custom drop-in filters. Would be nice if you could use Canon Breakthrough. Oh, on the Nices? Yeah, I can hear you. I've heard a lot of mixed things on the filter sets, for sure, on those. When are you getting your 24 to 105 to 8? When they're free? No, it's going to probably be a while. If I can sell out all the pepper and salt on Monday, and if I have all the pepper and salt, and then run another batch, and then sell all that out, I might be able to talk the wife into let me buy that. Yeah. We've got to pay for the salt and pepper that has been costing me a fortune since the beginning, and all the thousands and thousands and thousands of jars. Ooh, look at the silver version. Ooh, it's so shiny. This is a non-etched jar, which the first batch will be etched, and then all the remaining will not be etched glass. It doesn't contrast well. Kind of sucks. Made me very sad. I spent a lot of time, a lot of money trying to get it to work, and then it just doesn't work. It's, I don't know, kind of like being in business for yourself. Yeah, it's going to be a while, King. I don't know. I am very interested in hearing everybody else, because there's a few of them out there. B&H went from supposedly shipping on the 15th to available soon, so I'm not sure America's got theirs yet. Although I did see someone at Film Tools had one, but Brandon says 14 or 35 in my opinion. 14 I really won't ever use, and the 35 was nice, but just nice. 25, 50, 85 impressed me. The lack of breathing is very surprising, given its helicoil, from what I can tell, and the sharpness, pretty darn sharp. 35, I didn't mind at all. I like the 35. The 14, yeah, I agree. I didn't care for the 14. I don't like wides to begin with. Somebody is going to make a wide. Laowa with the Proteus lenses is pretty close with the wide. That's going to get me excited about wides. It's just hard. I would love to have some depth of field in wide. I want to show depth of field, and it's just like impossible with a wide. Not totally impossible, but fairly impossible. Excellent role in Brandon's vid. Nailed it. Didn't even need... Yeah, I was just me. Gregory says, do you plan on having international shipping for the... Yeah, I do. I just don't know how to do it yet. Because I have to have a code for everything and shipping, and I have to look all that up and figure it all out and all of that. And then once I do, I will get it in there. If people will be patient, I will figure it out and let them know. But yeah, it's kind of tough. Hello, Ollie. Evening of the goods, watching while driving home. Don't look too much, because we're out of sync, and sometimes we're in sync, you know. Gregory says, hello, Ollie. I look forward to Scotty SCOTT. Why? Because I like you. Be Goods. Scotty Be Goods sponsorship on your upcoming videos. I am going to do a nice commercial for it. I've been working on lighting and all of that fun stuffs, and it's going to be good. I think so. I think so. It'll be nice. Chungda says, I want the 10mm T2 full frame. Ooh, that is wide, dude. That's wide. I would take a 10mm T.75. But I don't think they made one that wide. Those NASA lenses that they used on that one movie that was all shot by candlelight by, what's his name? Kubrick, the man. Those NASA lenses, I don't think they went that wide, did they? That'd be cool. Brandon says, I compared the sharpness to the Vistas, and it's, like you said, pretty much just as sharp, wide open. Not quite the same character. It's more of a continuous, sharp character, ever so slight character. Whereas a Vista definitely has character. But, like you said, you don't want to carry around a Vista all the time. Yeah, the Nisis are enjoyable. It's like a vacation when you carry those around. Where he says, I'll order once it's online, and I'm in no rush, and you can bill me for shipping once you sort it out. Carlos. Hello, Carlos. How are you? How's that V-RAPTOR treating you? Carlos adding in the big V-RAPTOR into his arsenal of massive, cool camera gear stuffs. Gregory says, puppets. I would love to put puppets in there, but I am waiting on my wife to finish a puppet thing. I need them. It's so much. It's not just for this channel, but it's actually for my Raw Cuts channel too. I need it finished, and she's partially done, not quite done, and it needs to be done. And then puppets are coming in full force because they're cool. Really? Do I not have a... Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna destroy this horrible, horrible prop that must be destroyed. Gregory says, hey, Carlos. Nick. Barry Lyndon. Yes. Right. Zach's got a millimeter T2.1, but only for Super 35. Yeah, King, I'm looking. Does anybody have any new footage of them yet? I saw just the Comparo today on somebody's channel, and it was kind of some generic comparisons. So it was kind of hard to tell. They do have a vintagey look to them, and it is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that kind of a vintage look, because that is like very vintage. The Vista ones, big fan. It was a 50 millimeter T.7. Can't remember more than. I thought there were like 3 or 4 of them, and they were. I think they were $250,000 a piece. Kubrick T.7 lenses, maybe. Zeiss Planars 50, yeah. But there was, I thought there were like 3. What? Kubrick, let me type in NASA lenses. Really, is it just one? Huh. All this time, the river flows. Yeah, just one. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I swear they said it was 3 of them. I would like to, honestly, Carlos, but it's going to be a while before I can get one. It's just the nature of the beast. As I said before, if I sell out all the salt and pepper, the first run and the second run, then I'll have one soon. For those of you not saying that you're committing to buy or anything like that, but just those of you who would typically be interested in salt and pepper, would you be buying salt or pepper or salt and pepper? Is that like some people just don't like some things and some people like others? So I'm just kind of trying to gauge what people think. Did it actually start shipping, Carlos? I saw that it was supposed to, but I don't think I saw it shipping. I just saw a couple people with it, but it was mostly Europe. So that upcoming red EVF, what feature would be a wow factor from all others on the market? Size, a small EVF, OLED that's crystal clear, bright, easy to adjust, and allows you to manipulate the red as much as possible would be ideal. That's I would say that's a wow factor. But I mean, honestly, to get the wow factor, just needs to be smaller. And that's probably going to be the case since everybody else has to run external power. Let's see here. Oh, who is that? The 24 to 105. It is somebody was holding it. It is a big lens. Oh, Jared Poland was using it. It is a really big lens. No one has said anything about the optical qualities of it yet. I mean, if they've got it as clean as the 24 to 70, and it's 24 to 105, man, is it just going to be literally the staple lens. Let's see here. Gregory says, a direct connection to the top pins of the DSMC3 sounds like a wow factor. Right. Pulling power directly from the thing is going to be big. Yep. It's 50 millimeter, but he got 3 of them in his collection. Maybe that's what it was, Chung. That's interesting point. Red 5-inch, as we've been hinted to, first comes the EVF, hopefully announced right before Christmas. And then from there, we potentially go to the next. Looks like they're in Sagamina. Okay, then that's today because they weren't yesterday. I always gauge. It's kind of funny. You would not think Amazon's a good gauge, but Amazon is a good gauge. Kind of a bit redundant there, isn't it? Canon 24 to 105 2.8. Let's see if they have it yet because they did not have it. No, they don't have it. Which is an interesting one because they carry everything of Canon almost, but not that one. Interesting. I know you know. What I know that you think I know that you know I know is not something that I know I could say. If I knew what you know that I know you know I know, it's tough. I mean, it would hurt, you know? Just a hint for Christmas. I wish I could, but I can't. If there's something coming out real soon, I will try my best to get Jared on. But he controls his timeline. His schedule is full of meetings. Sing this song will follow along. Didn't buy my salt and pepper. Notice how that part didn't rhyme. Both, but I'd probably buy more salt than pepper in the long run. Yeah, so so the salt and pepper will come in these jars. These are 4-ounce jars. The salt, you get 4 ounces in here. Pepper, you cannot. We tried to get 2.5 ounces in these, and you can't get it in there. 2 ounces is all you get, which is kind of good because sticker price of pepper. Pepper is not cheap, folks. It is also not easy to work with, and it takes care, extra smoke to get that flavor imparted upon it. So it's 4 ounces of salt, 2 ounces of pepper in those jars, but they will also be available in I call them refill bags. The jars are the nice, we have jars. Then the refills, so it'll be 16 ounces of salt in a bag, not just a Ziploc, but a nice sealed bag. And then the pepper will be 8 ounces. That's what I came up with. And Timmy says that I need to offer a discount for buying a combo. What do you think? Do I need to? I feel like it's probably smart marketing, but it also feels like peer pressure. Tyler says both. I'd buy both. Yeah, it's surprising. I use the pepper. I use the salt a lot. We really use it. But it's probably the fact that you can only get, in the same volume, you can only get 2 ounces of pepper, so you go through the pepper quicker. The pepper is a really good grind. It's not easy to grind pepper properly. And I did not want to do whole peppercorns. And the reason is that it does not matter how much smoke that I put into those peppercorns, you will get maximum 1/4, maybe 1/8 the amount of smoky flavor out of it, because you're only going on the outside. They're dried peppercorns, they're dried cherries, so they don't absorb much inside. So we crack them and then smoke them. Well, we smoke them a little bit on the outside, then we crack them and do it. And we crack them in a fairly coarse grind, but it's kind of interesting. Some people only buy the fine. Some people only buy the coarse, or there's all these different mesh sizes that people like. What I found was, it's in every situation that we've used it, it's actually really good mixed. The coarse and the fine and the medium, all the above. It's literally better. So that's the way we've done it. So the coarse stuff, which will sit mostly on top of your food, gives you that nice, spicy, kind of slight crunch. Not like you're eating a peppercorn, but it's nice. It's pepper on there. But then the smaller stuff will absorb kind of into whatever you're eating, asparagus or steak or whatever. It's really nice. So we decided to do that. So it was tough because it's easy to grind pepper fine. It's easy to grind pepper semi-fine. It's hard to crack peppercorns consistently getting larger pieces, coarse pieces out of there. And we've figured it out. Didn't have to spend the $2,500 I thought I was going to have to, which, maybe one day, if this becomes something real, more than just fun, then yeah, I'll probably invest in that machine. But That's it. And then the salt is it's a coarse salt. It is kosher sea salt. It's very nice. It's coarse. It dissolves really quickly. I mean, if you want to take coarse salt and grate it down, you could do that. But honestly, it's really good that way. That's my opinion. Salt and pepper, count me in for a few to use as gifts. Yeah, that's kind of the push here, Carlos. I really want to get these out online Monday because I really hope to get these in the hands of people for the holiday season. So that for this the holiday season, just for people to do like you said, use as gifts and such. Yep. Timmy's like, nope, and I don't know what he's saying nope to. Salt and pepper together and not using simultaneously, although they are really good simultaneously. They are not in stock. LOL, ship time not available. Oh, okay. That's what it is, 24 to 105. Okay, interesting. The S&P mix sounds fun. Yep, it's not a mix. You just, it's a combo. You get one of each. Good point on the gifting idea, Carlos. Yeah, I hope that's cool. I hope that's cool. Received my 24 to 105 from B&H today, Isaiah. Whoa. Tell us, how is it? You're the one with it. Tell us. Inquiring minds wish to know. Rex wants to know. Look at him. He's like, I want to know. Chung says, Google Glass-like product, but wireless use as EVF via app. I think there's probably a better product, maybe not the first gen, but the second gen, that I think will be the future. We'll see. I'm curious about vignetting on non-Canon cameras. What is the image circle? Do we know? I don't think I saw an image circle on it. So it certainly could pose an interesting problem on, say, V-RAPTOR, but they're VistaVision. But on V-RAPTOR, just shoot it in 7K. I mean, 7K is basically full frame on V-RAPTOR, so it'll look pretty good. And Isaiah lives in San Diego, so everything of mine from B&H takes one additional day than what they say. It's rather interesting. Samuel says, I'm interested about power and batteries. Do you think that bad battery can damage the camera? Absolutely. Yeah, without question. A bad battery can definitely ruin a camera. There are many reasons doing so, but voltage surges, voltage dropouts, brownouts, all of that. If you don't supply what the camera is expecting, then bad things can happen. And it's kind of interesting. I was trying to explain an issue that people were a few people were really getting hot and angry about on Komodo, and the way I explained it was, if you look on Red's website, in fact, let's do it together. Let's do it together like shibba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dee-ba-doo. I don't know why that was in my head, and none of us are any better because of it. Come on, give me there it is. Just give me the tech. Give me the, come on, there it is. Okay, so on everything, it might be in the manual. Let's see, remote audio, color management. Okay, so here we go. Operating temperature of the Red Komodo, 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 32 to 104. Storage temperature, -20. Storage, relative humidity, 0 to 85% non-condensing. Power, 7 to 17 volts via the integrated 2-pin DC-in. So those are the requirements. If you deviate from the requirements, bad things can happen. Not necessarily, but they can. So if a battery is supposed to be giving 14 volts and it drops to 9, but it does it rapidly, or comes back up, or maybe it has some kind of faulty cell in there that's really freaking out. Yeah, you could damage your power in any camera. Canons, there's a long history of Canons, and it's not Canon's fault. It's buying the cheap Chinese dummy batteries, and you put them in the bottom of Canons, and you'll blow out your power board if there's a problem with the power supply that's going in there. So batteries and power, yeah, it can absolutely damage the camera. And in the case of the conversation that was having earlier, if you go below 32 degrees, the camera can do it. We know it can do it because we've seen it being done. But it's an engineered product. It means it's designed to do a certain thing within a certain set of parameters. If you stay within that, it's probably never, ever going to give you any problems. I mean, something can always happen, but it probably won't. If you deviate, you might get away with it. You might not. And that's just the way it is. So, Samuel, if you want to go into deeper on that, give me the situation you want to talk about. Let's dig in. Nick says, I use the Canon 24-72-8, and that thing cooks, but I'd really love to get a 105. Already owe B&H a kidney, so yeah. So, Nick, you only have 2 kidneys. You owe them one. You can't live without the other one. You could, but not for very long. You would be more. You'd have to go into the hospital a lot to get dialysis. So don't give up your other kidney for it. What I am interested in, I have the this down here is the focus. Rex is like, why are you blocking me? That is the 24-72-8 EF. And to me, it's a fine lens, but it's exceptionally boring to me. It's not razor sharp. It's not beautiful bokeh. It's not got a lot of character. It feels very two-dimensional. It feels very competent. It just doesn't feel like it's great at anything. And I'm really interested, for those of you who have a 24-72-8 EF and an RF, is the RF better, or is it basically the same? Because I love a 24-70, which means I would love a 24-105. But I don't really want to spend that kind of money on another okay lens. I don't hate it. It's okay. B&H said Canon did a limited release of that lens. I believe that. It's probably very hard to make. I just made a mess, speaking of making. Ooh, that's a hot mess. Wasn't supposed to do that. West. Hi, from Denmark. Hello, Denmark. This is Texas. Nice little ditty. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. Saw someone online testing the KX with the new 24-105, and the aperture adjustments didn't sync. Hopefully a firmware update will do this. Yeah, I'm almost certain a firmware update will fix that. Basically, Red adds corrections to a lot of that stuff after the lens is released, because doing so before would probably violate an NDA that they have I mean, Canon and Red are friends. To what level, I do not know, but if you notice, right after lens comes out, usually we get some type of firmware, if it's going to be a popular lens. So it's my guess is it's going to come soon. Those of you who have RF doublers, do you happen to know, or did you notice if you put it on your Red, does it double your f-stop or not? Because I have the doubler on, I was using it on V-RAPTOR here, and it's communicating, everything's fine. The autofocus is, man, just snap on V-RAPTOR. I mean, wow. Through the 2X into this other honking lens. I don't know what that was. But it doesn't report, you normally you take like an f5.6 lens, you put a doubler on it, it's now an f11. It is not doing that. It just says an f5.6, which I thought was interesting. Too much nose is a no-nose. Yes, and you knows what you're talking about there. I want to add the salt and pepper to my corporate gift bag. Well, that's very cool. I would say don't buy me out, Carlos, but I mean, if you want to, I mean, you can totally do it. I would honestly love for it to be really good, but I would honestly love for people to actually want it and like it and use it and all of those things. I mean, it has a Balcom twist to it. All of them do. Like the phrasing, and it's really small, so it's hard to see. But like I can't see it. How about that? It's so small. It says on the bottom, it says so sweet and smoky. It's like I've got a typo. Are you kidding me? Wow. I was literally laughing earlier. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I had like some typo and people were like, this is limited edition, right? I was like, no, I won't have a typo because I double checked everything, but I clearly didn't. There's an extra word in there. Now I'm unhappy. Some of y'all go get some special ones. It's not the end of the world. It actually still works, but it's so sweet and smoky. It's like angels peeing on your tongue. That's one of my phrases on the salt. And then the pepper has its own phrase. So, I say that. It's funny because like my mother-in-law, she wants to buy it and she wants to give it out as gifts. And I'm like, is she going to be okay with that? I was like, it's not bad, but it's not either. It was kind of funny because I told my wife, I said, text her, find out if that's not cool. Do I need to make a clean version or a cleaner version? She ultimately said, no, that's fine. I don't want to mess with his artistic. So, okay. Let's see here. Nick says, tell me about this salt. Is it gray salt, Sardinian, or Portuguese? It is not. It is sea salt. It's coarse sea salt. I will do this. When you come out, I always like to say what I'm typing. Just you're part of the texting. Bring a salt and pepper with you. There, then I can show it to you. But it's a kosher sea salt. It's coarse, and I smoke it in a smoker that I've modified. I can't wait I've got so many projects to do if the salt takes on. One of them is to build a really big smoker because it takes a lot to do this, and I can't use my smoker when I'm using it, when I'm making it. It takes 96 hours to smoke the salt and to smoke the pepper, and I can't do a whole lot in there because you need the smoke to move and to permeate through the mesh and to get to all the good stuff. But I smoke it in applewood, which I've tested 4 different woods, and applewood had the very best sweetness to the salt, which is, it's wild because salt is salty, but when you put smoked applewood on it, it becomes sweet and salty. And I mean, that always works fantastically, just like salted caramel ice cream. You put sweet and salt, it works. It's a flavor enhancer. So it is magical. And then the pepper is also applewood smoked. It takes about 96 hours, sorry, to do as well. And it's small batch too. So it takes weeks to get this stuff going. And so it is lovely. It is a nice, neutral, smoky flavor. It's not overbearing, and it really is. Some people are like, I don't know if smoke would go. Honestly, there is not one dish that it hasn't. That it hasn't enhanced. It doesn't impart negative to it. Everything we put it on, it's delightful. It just adds a little more complex notes to it. The same thing with the pepper. It's really nice. Can you sell Balkan Blue grinders? I don't know. Now our pepper comes pre-ground, like I said before. I have been looking. I was talking to Gregory about it earlier. I was trying to get some. They sell them on Amazon and such. They're like they're bamboo little salt and pepper. Hold on, I'll grab it. I have one. I'm trying to get these in bulk because they're not cheap, and I would like to sell them for, a reasonable price with, small amount of monies for me. And then, it's a convenience thing. But these are not cheap. And it sucks that I cannot find them cheap at all, even from Alibaba. I was looking on there, and they have these wonderful, great prices. And you're like, oh my God, it's cheap. I can do it. Then you get the shipping from China, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not cheap. So these little salt and pepper containers, the lids, they come off, and they're it'd be nice if I get in the center, but there's a little magnet in there, and they close. They're really nice, and I would engrave on the top the salt and pepper, and so I feel like this and the salt and pepper would be like a really nice, kind of thing for someone to have. If you're giving it a gift, obviously it's a more expensive gift, but getting these things, man, it's wow. I just want to do that because I feel like people would do it. Don't offer a discount because people will then wait for the next discount. It's true. I 100% hear you on that. Yeah. No need for a discount on the combos. Perhaps a discount on large orders. I can do that. Well, so the refills, the prices are not set. They're close to being set. I'm still working on all my costs because they keep going up. Welcome to the world. But like, it's about, for salt, like if you just get the bag and you're buying it in a bulk, it's basically 2 times the price for 4 times the salt, in a nutshell. So it's a 16-ounce refill bag of salt, and it's basically double the price of the jar. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's simple to put it in bags. It really is. And it doesn't have any presentation value. It's just a It's a bag. Well, it's a nice bag. It's a Mylar food safe bag, but you know, the pepper is it's like 3 times the price. It's hard because like pepper is expensive and it's really hard to make, and it's a lot more labor involved, and so this is weird. This turned into a filmmaking and salt and pepper talk today, but you know it's Friday. Why not? The pepper is like 4 times the amount for 3 times the price, and that's like the best discount I could give, because I wanted to be able to discount. Salt is surprisingly inexpensive unless there was a worldwide shortage of salt, which there was until recently. We talked about that previously. Boy, it was tough. Santa Scotty, why don't you tell me everything is... There's a blue salt in the market? Now that would be cool. I wonder what kind of salt that would be. I mean, I can imagine. I know there's pink Himalayan salt. There's a bunch of different salts out there. And I have been dabbling in that. Also, my meatloaf, ooh, it's getting good. It's getting real good. In fact, Cynthia's going to the store right after this, and she brings the salt and pepper in to buy more stuffs for the meatloaf. It's getting good. Chung says, some lenses got a big image circle, especially the Nikon vintage lenses. Yeah, it's true, because just covers medium formats. That's the reason I have a collection of Nikon AIS, just in case. Yeah. Also the Mamiya lenses, the medium formats, fantastic lenses. Very reasonably affordable. We'll test the 24-105 aperture issue on the Komodo X soon this weekend. Yeah, I don't think it'll be resolved, but if you've updated to the latest firmware, then connect it to Wi-Fi, and it's going to let you know when the next firmware is available. So you should power it up. Mateo, hey Mateo, how's it going up there in fabulous New York City? Hope everything's going well for you. Happy Hanukkah. I do wonder if the 24-105-28 will vignette on the Raptor. I have a feeling it might, but probably not at 7K. Kind of seems there isn't much craze for the new Airy as those from the past. I don't know if that's true or not. There is a craze for it. The problem the Airy has with it, there were some bugs for sure, but they couldn't make enough of them. And because they couldn't make enough of them, it did some strange things to the market. But in fairness, couple that with, I don't know, a giant strike that completely obliterated everyone's checking accounts, and you know people are kind of a little bit shy right now about spending money. That would do it too. It's a good camera. We really liked what we got out of it over the summer. It was really cool. I liked it. Will I buy one? No. It's a lot of money for me to do because I don't rent my gear much. So getting that money out of it, I would have to be assigned to a show or a feature where I'm getting the full rental on that. Then I might consider it, but it's not something that I would own. But you're kind of right, King. It's kind of not quite the same. So those empty battery packs you fill up with AA cells are AliExpress jokes at your expense. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Think about it this way. If you've ever dealt with AliExpress or Alibaba, the companies that are out there, they're not out there for very long. They turn around, close up, open back up. Turn around, close up, open back up. So you're not getting a warranty issue. If you could get a warranty issue, you're not getting a resolution. Then you have to ship it to China. It's kind of a known thing. The coatings on the RF lenses are better, no doubt. And yes, the sharpness improved. Very interesting. This lens right here, I'm a huge fan of this lens. Grabbing it. This one was my Christmas gift. This is the 100 to 500. I don't like that the zoom is on the outside. I like my focus out here, but it is a very light lens. Honestly, it's shockingly light, but man, is it sharp. It is so incredibly sharp. It's wild. So it is, the coatings on this, you're completely right. They are much better. It is on par with the 2870 to 200 EF, which is the best lens that Canon's ever made. In EF, RF I hear is just as good, and it is as sharp and it is as detailed and pretty. The negative, of course, is the f-stops, which is a variable, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Chung says, I worked with the Alexa 35. Most productions still use Alexa Mini as the cost is lower. Yeah, they're coming really down in price. Also uses normal voltage instead of 20. Yeah, the B-mounts are a pain. And as I described it before, to you guys, over the summer, we were using the block batteries, which are 600 watt-hour batteries, I think. They're the big Anton Bauer block batteries. They weigh a freaking ton, like 35 pounds. We had 6 of them, and we would go through 5, sometimes 6 in a day. It will suck through one of those batteries in 2 hours. It consumes a ton of power. And most people are not buying the B-mounts. They're buying gold mount adapters and just popping it on there. Makes it annoying getting specific battery just for the cam. I agree. They're like, oh, it's an open format. Anybody can use it. Yeah, but Anton Bauer's like, gold mount works just fine. V-mount, everybody on the planet uses V-mount except for West Coast and East Coast of Hollywood and television and news. Everybody else is like, V-mount works fine for us. Yeah, it's a tough one. But honestly, Chung, the reason it's 24 volt, it uses so much power. My God. Now, these are really good. These are designed for lights. And I have yet to do the review on this one. I feel bad because they're really good. These are the Core Apex. So these are big honking batteries. And these are not 24 volt batteries, but they're actually like 29. They are higher than the standard spec for normal ones. These are 29.6. But like this is a 360 watt hour. The good thing is that you could take 2 of these and put them on your Aputure 600C or your 600D or your 600X and run for quite a while on these. The negative to these, because there has to be a negative, of course, is that they have to use a special plate because you can't inject 29 volts into something expecting 26 max. And so you have to swap your plates on, where is it? In use, okay? No, wait. Is it? Is it in use? Is that it? Oh, I am so smart. SMRT, SMART. Ooh, yeah, cause a small fire. Whoop. So here is the core plate for the apex. So you have to swap them out on the inside. Hi. You can bring it. It doesn't matter. I just need just one of each. It's fine. So I can show them the salt and peppers. So the core plate you have to swap out with the ones that are on there. You can let him out. He'll bark when you come. All right. Bye. And then it was just me. So we got the salt and pepper here. So let's go through these questions here since I get behind. Thank you. It seems that V-mount battery causes something to the Komodo sensor. Now a few pixels are stuck, and some of them are getting red and flashing, working and not working. Have you done a black shade on that? Do a black shade and see if that fixes it. Make sure you do the black shade correctly. Also, there is a way in Red City X to map out hot pixels. You can do that. I mean, it does happen. It's pretty rare, but a lot of times that happens not from power, but from usually like a laser. If you get a laser pop across your sensor, you probably have blown a photosite or two. But I mean, there are times that you can get some pixels that are doing that, and it just depends on how and why to how you fix that. But a black shade should take those out if they're bad. Sometimes it can correct them, like physically correct them. Okay. My 2X adapter doesn't work with Komodo or... So when you say it doesn't work, Carlos, you mean it doesn't report, right? Oh. Or it doesn't work at all? That's a good question. I just got that. And I haven't tried it on Komodo X yet, or Komodo. Good point, Carlos. I'll tell you what, though. Boy, was I... Read the fine print, Scott. I got the 2X because, of course, I want to run 1,000 millimeters on that lens. I go to put the 2X in there. You know, the 2Xs have this like protrusion that goes inside the lens, and I'm looking at the back of the lens, and it's not like the EF. The EF, you look in the back, and there's a big cavity, and then there's the first element is up in there. This was at the end, and I was like, I can't do that. That's not going to work. And then I literally went through my brain. Is like, are you an idiot? Did you not research this? And I'm like, I know I researched the 2X working. And then I went and I read, and then finally found one little fine print that says, we'll work on this lens between 300 and 500. And I was like, huh. So I then zoomed it out or zoomed it in to 300, and that the first element goes zip, inside. I was like, makes perfect sense now. That one was funny. Now this one was kind of funny. See if you can see that. So I did this to see if it would work, and it does work to a point. So I need a better adapter here. So that's an RF 2X. That's the Canon drop-in, and then that is an EF 2X to give me 4X. Four wonderful X's. And it does work. The problem is with that insert piece, it uses the same space that the drop-in filter does. And you can't take a drop-in filter out and not put in a clear because it affects the the focal chain that it's expecting to have to correct. So I couldn't infinity focus on certain lenses. And the biggest problem I had, and the reason I had to use the drop-in was, I can't show you, but the inside the adapters, the EF to RF adapters, they have the plastic shrouds that go in there that cut down on reflections. Those plastic shrouds are in the way. And on the regular RF to EF adapter, it wasn't easy to remove that shroud. But on the drop-in, it was actually a single screw, tiny. And that's literally why I have this little guy right here. You can remove that, you can pull out that shroud, and then you can stick the whole filter in, or the whole adapter in. I'm interested to play with that, because that'll be really cool with the moon. Because I really am interested, because that 100 to 500 with the 2x on a Super 35 8K sensor, so it's tiny, is optically gorgeous, sharp as sharp can be, which makes me wonder, how far can we push this lens? Well, it says, I will be giving a set to the guy who owns a retail business called Kitchen. I'm sure after he tries it, he'll want to stock it in his store. Oh, that'd be cool. He's a foodie. Sorry, I'm getting really behind on all these comments. Don't forget to say please. Okay, all this smoke and salt talk is making me thirsty for a Balkan salt mezcal margarita. So here's the salt. I'll get through these questions here quick. They screw-on lids, and then we do put it's a silica gel pack in here. This is a food-safe one. Don't eat it, but it is food-safe, because you don't want to have humidity in there. These things going all over the place. So it's hard to see, and I'm not going to touch it. But it is, it's a, man, how do we get this? Let's see here. Sorry. Can we do it from there? Will it focus? Let's see. Come on, focus. Focus! Come on, what are you doing? Where are you not focusing? Well, this is not fun. Here, let's just turn it. You gonna focus now? No, you're not gonna focus at all? No, it's focusing. Yeah. Oh, because it's on dog. Oh well, I tried. So the salt is in here, and then the pepper. Man, if only I had a macro lens, convenient. But pepper's in here. It's hard to. It's got to be a way. Let me get you some questions, and we'll get from there. Okay, have you experimented with smoking the pepper under a vacuum? Should pharmaceutical manufacturing for you? I have not. I'm assuming you're talking about Adam, the peppercorns, which would be an interesting effect because you would naturally, the smoke would permeate into the peppercorns. I don't have to try that because you definitely, like, we tried some where we just filled the smoke box that we have just full of smoke, and we didn't circulate it. So we didn't have it going through. We just had it in there, and it was just gigantic amounts of smoke. Didn't taste the same. It did not. It was not good. I mean, it was not bad, but it was not sweet. It was harsh smoke flavor. So we run smoke through it, through the actual Pepper, actually. Caribbean blue salt. Matt. Hello. Scott, you discussed the 4x565 ND a while back. What do you recommend for Komodo X? It needs to be IRND. So, my recommendations for ND are as follows. Format high crest, format high crest, right? Format? Anyway, they're called the I'll come back to the Firecrest. The Firecrest are fantastic, wonderful, wonderful NDs, and they have very, very tiny. Let me grab them. Very, very tiny amounts of color shift. The other is, let me grab, no, I'm going by feel here. No, let's go into here. Yep, there we go, okay. You know what's weird? You can find these on Amazon for cheap. This is a 10 filter holder, and they all break like this. And you can find this one for $50, which is a 6 filter holder. From there, they go to Phil Holland's wonderful Pelican case, which is custom, but comes at a cost. So, get out of here. So these are the, which one is this one? I can't, there we go. 4-stop. So this is a breakthrough photography is the, hey, look at that. You can actually see, it's got a little bit of a mirror finish onto it. Yeah, there I am. Hi, there you go. So, these are honestly just unbelievably fantastic. No color shift through them. And they have 1 to 8 stops. Now, what's interesting though is I don't see these on his website for sale in the 4x565s, but I know he makes them, so you might reach out to Breakthrough on a set of those and see what they do. The Firecrests, there's one right there. The Firecrest IRNDs right here, also really, really good. Those are my favorite. From there, the Tokina IRNDs are pretty good. What I don't love about the Tokinas, and I think Tim can back me up, is they actually they don't have a color shift that happens through the NDs themselves, but all of the NDs together have a slight green tint to them, and it shows up. It's a little weird. If you like that look, cool. If you take it out, cool. I don't like that. I like to be as practical as possible, and so I don't love the Tokinas, but they're very competent IRNDs. From there, the Nisi filters I've heard good things about. The 4x565s, not the drop-ins. I've heard good things. I have not personally tested those, but people that I trust have. Then you've got Tiffins. Tiffins make some pretty good NDs. There's a slight color shift on those through the range. On the set that I had used, they may have improved them since. I don't know. The Schneiders definitely have a color shift to them. They kind of go bluish as they go through the NDs. I was actually talking with the Obsessive DP YouTuber and he was talking about how his helium and his V-RAPTOR don't look the same when he puts ND in front of them, that the V-RAPTOR turns things brown and that it's IR pollution. And I was trying to explain to them it's way more than just saying IR, because if it's IR pollution will exist without the ND. He puts the ND in, he gets it. It is a additive color shift that is occurring because of everything that he's putting in front of. The helium is slightly green to begin with. It's my least favorite sensor of all of Red's. It has a different look to me, and some people love it. It's cool. So comparing the two, it's not quite apples and apples. The OLPF on the heliums, DSMC2s, you can replace and swap. The OLPF on V-RAPTOR is built specifically to be the best of everything that V-RAPTOR could be. But it's not the same. It's not an identical OLPF to the standard. As far as I know, what I was told is that it's different because it's tuned specifically for the sensor, just like the Komodo one, the Komodo X are also tuned. So those are the ones I recommend. I don't find Komodo and Komodo X have that much IR pollution. There's a small amount, but the OLPF knocks out a bunch of it. And again, I can't really say again, I didn't say it to begin with, but when you're dealing like with OLPFs and you're dealing with NDs and such, there's a give and a take. If you cut something, you can affect other things. It's precise where the coatings happen, but it's not it works at exactly 512 nanometers. It is a range around 512. So you have to be careful with the various coatings that happen. So the reason that there is some IR in Komodo and Komodo X is you get more, you do get a little more dynamic range with it, but you get better sensitivity because you're using that light. The trick is to balance it. How much can you put into it before it turns brown, like a Black Magic without a good OLPF in it? Those Black Magic pockets, when you when you put those things with IR, I mean, it just goes brown. That's pure IR pollution because they didn't have an OLPF in front of it. And then they fixed that because, I mean, people are like, why? Well, they're trying to get that sensitivity. And couldn't we all benefit from a little extra sensitivity in this world? Okay, Carlos says, let's discuss this. ARRI preserves a lot in the highlights and ignores the dark areas without discrimination. Depends on which one you're talking about. Definitely more so in the Alexa 35. In the LF, the Mini, the Amira, I say it kind of does a nice balance, but it doesn't have a whole lot of highlights. You're not talking about a very high stop or high dynamic range sensor. It's a 14 stop sensor. It looks great, but it's about 14 stops, whereas the Alexa 35 is a lot more. And Carlos says, Red protects enough highlights to allow us to keep the story's intent, but also protects the dark areas so that if the content is streamed. Yes. Some more than others. Komodo X is far better at it than Komodo. And Komodo is the prime example of what I'm talking about with the Sony A9 III. We don't know what the A9 III can do yet. Everybody's touting it as the best thing on the planet. It might very well be. But Komodo was global shutter. And when you put global shutter on CMOS, it you lose something, you take away something, and you get penalized for it, which is why it's so difficult to do. And Red figured it out, and Sony has now figured it out to an acceptable level. We don't know what it is, but if you look, Komodo has about 15 and a half, maybe 16 stops of dynamic range, somewhere in that area. But it took a hit because most of the Red sensors were 16 and a half stops or more. So Komodo, it took that hit in the shadows big time, and it also took it in the highlights. It was both sides. Now, Komodo X, man, God love it, it's just like Dragon to me, but it's got the highlights and it's got the dark areas. V-RAPTOR's a totally different ballgame when it comes to VistaVision. It has so much highlight and way, way into the shadows. It's scary good, how good it is. And saying the word protect is not, it's probably not the right word to use, because Red gives you the sensor. Now, there are things, with the OPF and the design of the sensor, and the gain structure that's in, okay, Rex, coming on in. Here he comes. And the gain structure that's in there, there is some level of protection, come on, that they're doing. Oh, you're all wet now. What's up, buddy? Hi. How are you? Ooh, yeah, you're soaking. All right, you gonna lay down? Oh, you're gonna lay. Yeah, he's going to his secondary position, which I don't have a camera position for. So what the protect is, it's a loose word, because what they do is they give you the sensor and you choose what to protect, because you can shift middle gray visually. But we're exposing in the, okay, thank you. We're exposing the sensor. So with our contrast, which are basically LUTs, and our roll-offs, our highlight roll-offs, we're protecting that. And then visually, you can protect shadows or highlights by shifting that middle gray, by pumping up your ISO, visually exposing at that point. But yeah, let's see. Carlos goes on and says, there won't be any artifacts. That alone is because of what I do. Redwood's, I mean, it's true. The Red V-RAPTOR is a big choice for low light in Hollywood. It's kind of funny because you'll see, oh yeah, we use Alexa LF on this, and then they use the V-RAPTOR here. Now, it's not shot on red because it's not featured, but they used it because it was the right tool for the job. It's kind of interesting. Oh, he says no discounts, introductory offer, limited time only. There you go. Man, how far am I behind? I'm sorry. Like founder level pricing, great idea. Also, how are you doing, Ollie? What's up, Carlos? Congrats on the inevitable Raptor. Yes, inevitable. Yeah, it's going to be an Ollie's future too. Chung says, Chung, hello, come on, there we go. Yeah, I have to make sure charging station is not, wow, I must be really far behind, I'm sorry. Some idiot who charged their phone, otherwise swapping the half-charge battery. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, yep. Yeah, last shoot I did with the 35, I felt like I was charging my batteries, Bebop. Yeah, a lot and often. Those plates act like a butt converter. Well, I mean, they are, in a sense, but the butt converters are typically inside the cameras. But in the case of like a Komodo, when you put like a core or a tilt plate on the back, yeah, there's a butt converter in there because you got to take it down and bring it to the 8.4 volts. Worcestershire sauce, key in meatloaf. Yes. Yes, it is. You know what else is key in there? Chipotle. Little chipotles. Smoked jalapeno. Not chunks. The essence. The flavoring of that. Also, coriander. Coriander works wonderful in there. And And woo, people are going to hate this one. MSG. It does wonders. Format high crest. Format high tech. Format high tech. There we go. Format high tech. Firecrest. Indies are fire. Yes. There we go. Gemini footage versus Dragon X. So Dragon has one of the most natural skin tones on the planet, and the highlights are fantastic. Gemini does a very good job of getting very, very close to the Dragon skin tones. It is virtually similar. I would say it's not quite as close as Komodo X to Dragon's skin tone, but it's really good. And then Gemini, you gain the highlight, the ability to go with your sensitivity with your dual gain structure in there. It just depends. I have seen Dragon X footage that makes Gemini footage look bad, and I've seen Gemini footage that makes Dragon X footage look bad. And it just depends on the environment that you're putting in. I will say that going from 6K to 5K, it hurts more than you think, even on the 4K. Carlos says, dude, I love helium. I do not. I mean, I really try. I wanted 8K badly. And I couldn't afford Monstro. And so helium was the option. Epic W, when it first came out, I was like, ooh, is this the one? Is this the one that makes Scott happy? In the end, with Epic W, I wanted 8K 60. Actually, I wanted 8K 48, but I couldn't get that in Epic W, so it had to be helium. And no matter how hard I tried, I just didn't love helium. I just didn't. I don't know what it is about helium. To me, helium if Dragon was you looking at your scene with your eyes wide open, helium to me is like you're squinting. There's just, it's I don't know. This is my opinion. Ollie says, I don't mind helium. Definitely has the red look. What kept me away was the lack of slow-mo. Oh, that one. I wish KX had a 5K 2:1 100p. It would be nice. I wondered and hoped that Komodo X was going to end up with a lot of the like the resizing and the framing and the different frame rates in there. And I have to think that it is just a decision made that they want to keep Komodo like Komodo. Komodo X and Komodos are not a Swiss Army knife, not a Swiss Army cinema of cameras, but a good knife. I don't know. I just feel like they don't want, and there may be a lot of reasons. I don't know the reasons, but it doesn't feel like we're going to get those in Komodo X. I would love them because I would love to shoot 5K at 2:1 or widescreen. I mean, it'd be nice to have all that we have, but obviously there's reasons, and maybe there's just not enough of us. Yep, I was way oversimplifying by using Protect. Yeah, Protect is a tough word because some manufacturers do have to protect because they're using circuitry and processing, whereas Red is giving you the raw. King says, I first got exposed to your content on a Helium versus C500 Mark II video. What would I think about those two compared? C500 Mark II is not a horrible camera, but I can't say that I love it. I would say Canon C500 is similar in characteristics of the latitudes, both directions, as a helium. Not quite as good as a helium, but definitely pushing more towards magenta than green. Scott, I saw you on Brandon. Well, yeah, live earlier. That Z8 was clean. Have you tried the Z9? I have tried it. I didn't get to use it for a project, but our friend Bill Howard, who comes on here periodically, he has a Z9. He took. We played with it a bunch. We shot a bunch of different things here with it, and then he, a brilliant photographer. I mean, if he's going to be here, I'm going to definitely have him take my photo. And I mean to tell you, he used the Z9, and he had these Viltrox lenses, and I don't know what it was, but that was just a magic combination. The Z9 looked pretty darn good, and those Viltrox lenses were kind of affordable and really good. I was kind of blown away. Carlos says, I have to think that DSMC3 cameras continue to evolve thanks to firmware updates, and Christmas is right around the corner. I hope so, Carlos. I hope you're right. Hey, how is the sync? Is having the AirPod out that I'm constantly playing with now, is it actually keeping us in sync now? I'm rather interested. I might just have to buy a pair of AirPods just to keep the keep everything in play. Hey, buddy, you gonna lay down? Lay on the carpet so I can turn on your camera. He's like, I'm not going to hide, buddy. How are you? How are you? Good boy. Okay, so I mean, I hope so, Carlos. I hope you're right. Oh, he's being tough now. Let's see if I can get him in here. See, he's like, no. But what I can do, I can zoom out. Oh, you're gonna get that. Sorry. There we go. Now I can put Puppy back in there. Alrighty then. Also, sad note, my mother's dog, they had to put her down last night. She had a fluid all around her heart, and she was just doing everything she could to be here, and it was just too much. And that's Rex's cousin. It was kind of sad, but it was weird because like I brought him over there to say hi just this week, and they played and they had a good time. It was really sad. So sorry for my mommy. Eric says, I gave in. I couldn't resist the Komodo X bundle discount. Oh, I know. That discount is so good. Komodo X, meet your new sibling, Komodo X2. Scott, I hope you will be making cooking vids as gateway marketing for yourself. Yes, I do plan on doing that. I know I keep saying it, and honestly, there's like 60 different things pulling me. And what I need most, it's hard to tell in here, but I mean, my studio has boxes. You really can't see over there because look at those Crocs, man. Those things look great. All over in this area is covered in jars. I mean, it's just, and I need them done and working, which they are now, and filled and out the door is what I need. And then we'll be doing lots of cooking. And remember earlier when I said I need one more thing from a puppet. As soon as that gets done, it's going to be fun. Carlos says the C500 Mark II fixed pattern noise, yes, FPN, is real and raw. Well, I mean, that's the beauty of image processing is you can process it right out. And you can take out fixed pattern noise in post with denoise, but not perfectly, but not bad. If you haven't, I learned a few things watching Darren Moist. I apologize. I'm sure he doesn't watch my videos, but if he did, I apologize. His name is Darren Moston. He's an English guy who does color, and he's really good at it. And he has a great YouTube channel. But he taught two things to me that were like, oh, even better. One of them was how to properly use noise reduction in DaVinci Resolve. And it's a little bit more than what you think, but it does do tremendous as far as making it right. But that's a good video to watch of his. Also, his node tree. Watch his node tree and set up your node tree like that in Resolve. I know we just talked about this last week or the week before. Someone asked about my nodes and how I do things. I am a believer in his node tree now. I was having this problem, and it's clearly my fault. And it's one thing I just didn't calculate right. I didn't do the right brain activity to get it right. My dragon, I was having such difficulty in here. And if you look, like my last 6, 7, 8 videos, the color's always changing in here. The way I look, always changing. Because I was never happy with how the images were turning out. And it was weird. I didn't have this problem before, but I started using Resolve more and more, and then using Dragon as my A cam. It was weird in here, and it all boiled down to how to set up your node tree and to do the color space transforms in a certain way, in a certain place, and set them to the right gamma, which is Rec 709 gamma 2.4, getting BT 1886 out completely. Don't even touch it, because it's not a display gamma, which I'm always learning coloring. It's tough. But by doing that, so you set your red raw into DaVinci Wide Gamut LG 310. Then you have your color space. You're going to convert your timeline into DaVinci Wide Gamut and DaVinci Intermediate. You're going to go in and then your DaVinci Wide Gamut and then Rec 709 2.4 gamma. Then you do a primary node with a color space transform in bringing in whatever footage you have. So if it's red, you bring it in, your red wide gamut, LG 310, into the DaVinci color space, the red wide gamut, DaVinci Wide Intermediate, DaVinci Wide Gamut, DaVinci Intermediate. Then you do everything. And then at the very end, you reverse it. And you take it out of DaVinci Wide Gamut, DaVinci Intermediate to Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. Doing that, my dragon footage instantaneously looked as it should. And I was so happy. So happy. Steve Viner. Sorry. Baxter. Hey, Baxter. Which red has the most pleasing shutter effect? Is 50p uncommon? I need you to restate that question. What do you mean by shutter effect? I don't think I'm following that. Two questions. Is it okay? So pleasing shutter effect. Describe that. Tell me what you mean. And then the secondary is 50p uncommon. It's not uncommon if you are European, where you're doing 25p. Then 50p would be a 2x of that, a 2x slow-mo. Now, what you can do is shoot it in 50p, and your shutter angle, set it to 360 degrees. What that does give you, it's a cheat, and I learned this from a red guy on here. We learned it live. By shooting it at 50p 360, you have the same exposure that you would at 2550. Or or 25 frames per second at a 180 shutter. So anytime you need regular, just 25p, you have the standard 180 degree shutter, or the standard, kind of standard. It's not really standard, but you have that nice motion blur that you would expect from a 180 degree shutter at 25p. But you always have a 2x slow-mo right in there, because at 2x, chances are the 360 degree shutter, the motion blur is going to look fine on there. It's a win-win. I shoot it all the time. I shoot 24 timeline, but I'm shooting 48 at a 360 shutter, and it's wonderful. Chung says, a really delicious spice should try is sweet paprika. I like paprika. There's a lot of paprikas that are delicious. Now, paprika is interesting because paprika by itself is almost nothing. You could put like a tablespoon and it's going to impart almost nothing. Paprika does two real things other than the slight paprika flavor. Number one, it adds color because it adds red. It's very red. It is really good at that. The second thing that it does is it is a flavor transfer. So smoked paprika, a great way to get a nice smoky flavor. Sweet paprika, a great way to get sweet in there. It's a flavor carrier is what it is. Patrick says, it's still out of sync Friday. Okay, fine. I'll put these back. There we go. Let it be. That's sad. It is sad. She was a good puppy. And she was 9 years old, and she was a Great Pyrenees. So Great Pyrenees live 9 to 12 years, but somewhere around 10-ish. And it also, it kind of tugs on your heart too, because he is coming up on 9 next year. And he could, I kind of feel like, he's a tough guy like me, but we never know. Hope Carlos's prediction comes true. I hear you, Ollie. I hear you. I can probe and find out, but I have a feeling that it may not. Who knows? Who knows what we get? Christmas is a wonderful time of year. Have you seen that awful cooking channel with Jack? He had a range of sauces he would promote in his cooking video. Cooking with Jack. I don't think I have. But I do like the one, God, there's so many cooking guys in Austin. It kills me. God, what's his name? So bad at it. He's really, really good. Well, so that's one guy, right? So Ethan Chlebowski, really, really good. He's also one of those like Alton Brown. So he goes into the science of everything. He's really good at that, and he does that. But there's another guy, oh God, what's his name? And he's really, really good, and he's always beating up his refrigerator. Which one is he? He's always taking it out of his refrigerator and his assistant. I also like Glenn and Friends. Glenn and Friends is really good because he does recipes all over the globe and all over time, which is really good. What is... Oh, God, what's his name? What's his name? Ooh. Oh, man. One of y'all probably already has it down there, and I haven't looked. I think it's This Guy Can Cook. Is it the dude? That dude could cook. That's the one. He's also really good. I really like him. Carlos, would you say Resolve noise reduction is better than Neat Video? No. Neat is definitely more powerful, although Resolve gets better all the time. I would say Resolve is probably 80%, 85% of Neat Video, which would get you there 80% of the time-ish. than what Neat is really good when it's just that absolutely excessively troublesome noise. One second, I'm just going to dump this out. And then Neat just blows it away. Oh, hello, rain. Dripping on my shoulder. Relax, Red. Rex, I'm not going anywhere. Don't lean up against my chair either, bud. I don't want your foot getting run over. You good boy. That's my puppy. Oh, now he's getting closer. Get a little closer. Now don't be shy. You can get a little closer with Air Extra Dry. Oh, he says, yeah, Darren Moiston, great guy. Yeah, Carlos is like, God, I'll be here forever waiting for Scott to come up with his name. Man, DaVinci Resolve noise reduction is unbelievable. The speed is unreal. Is Neat video still slow? Neat is still Java, so it takes a while, but it is pretty good. The thing with DaVinci, split them. Don't let them be locked. That is the big key. And then the other thing Darren points out is a good rule of thumb is you have spatial and you have your frame, whatever. The frame should be about half the strength of your spatial. But he shows you how to find the noise using the scopes, and it's great. Congrats to me. I got 2K finishing funds from Woman in Film and TV last night. A short shot on OG Komodo, which is great. Nice. Very good. Hello, Kevin. How are you? You can change shutter. Yeah, you can change shutter angle. You can type in any shutter angle you want on V-RAPTOR and Komodo X. On Komodo, I don't think you can't type it in, can you? I don't think you can, but there's a big selection of them. But yeah, Neat video on Mac Studio M1 Max Pro Ultra Super everything is fast. Interesting. I have not used Neat in a while. It's been 3 years, probably 3 years since I've really used Neat. I haven't purchased the latest one, but it is always a solid noise reduction, which has a soft filmic look. Filmic, you're going to shoot anywhere between 172 and 180 degree shutter, typically. That is the generic, what is considered filmic, but it's 100%. It is a creative decision for your story. If you're shooting an action scene, you don't want motion blur. You want that staccato feel, so you're going to want to go to a sharper, a faster shutter. So you might shoot it at 90, or you might even shoot it at 45. It just depends. If you're going for that soft, sensuous, man and woman running in a field, you might want the 180. You might even want to push it up to like 240 or even 360, just to give it that dreaminess quality. So what is Filmic? Filmic is literally all the controls that we had on film cameras. Well, cool people that used film cameras. So yeah, there's an okay. Eric says, using Neat on my M2 Ultra, fast enough for me. Interesting. Maybe I need to check it out. Hit the like button, people. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it. I'll definitely try this 48 360 shutter tip for a 24 timeline. It's awesome. You can also, what you could do, Matt, is if you set your timeline to 48, can you do that? I think you can, right? Yes. Pretty sure. You could on Dragon. I do it the other way because I'm always running off audio or external audio on those. But if you do it 48, so your timeline is 48, and then your audio will be in and already connected. Otherwise, it's going to come as an off speed audio, and it will be a external wave file for it. but it's awesome. Is 48 better than 50 and why? No. 48 is not better than 50 and 50 is not better than 48. It depends on where it's going. If it's going to cinema, then it's 24. If it's going to Europe, it's 25. So 48 is a doubling of 24, 50 is a doubling of 25. So it 100% matters where it's going. Oh, he says, that's good to hear. I remember trying Neat a few years ago and it was super slow. Yeah, that's the Neat that I had. What is it? I think I was at Neat 5 was probably the last one I had. Maybe. I don't know how old that is. Baxter, we really don't use 50 here. We're on 24 base and not 25. Interesting. Where are you at, Matt? You said where you were. Denmark? Yeah, some. I'm just curious. Yep, got it. CST and DaVinci Resolve confuses me. What am I missing, CST? All I saw, Central Standard Time, CST. I don't, tell me what that Poof. Patrick says, I thought Neat Video was an old toy plug-in for Premiere Pro. The logo is deceiving. Color Space Transform. Oh, Color Space Transform. Well, Darren can explain it really, really good. So find his video on that. But really all it does is it allows you to take everything into a standard and then bring it back out. And the reason that you would do that is if you were to edit everything in Rec 709, Rec 709's color space is small. It's very condensed. DaVinci Wide Gamut is huge. Let me get in camera here. It's huge. So if you take a red raw and you bring it into Rec 709, you've taken this huge image and you squashed it down. So when you're pushing your colors and you're trying to get things, you're limited. So doing Color Space Transform to taking this and then you take it into DaVinci Wide Gamut, now you're at this and your entire timeline is now on a standard of DaVinci Wide Gamut. So you could bring in Canon, take Canon C-Log and bring it in, just convert Canon C-Log to DaVinci Wide Gamut, and now you've got this DaVinci Intermediate Gamut, whatever. DaVinci Wide, you get this wide color range in your timeline. So all your color changes, everything are happening inside this large palette. Then at the end, you just convert it to your output of what you're going to Rec 709, Gamma 2.4, and then everything works better. You have more latitude everywhere to push. It was deceiving. That to me, the whole color in DaVinci it's difficult. It's deceiving, but it's not. And there's probably like 10 different ways of doing it, and none of them are wrong. Phil Holland has a specific way that he does it, but he's also always working with like red when he's doing it, so his way works fine for that. Darren's method is fantastic. I just look up Darren Moston node tree. And he walks through the whole thing and he explains it so well in the way that he does. But that's like I said, it changed everything about the way I was coloring in there. It's easy enough to add motion blur in post if the shutter angle needed for green screen was necessary. This is true. That definitely you don't want to shoot green screen at 180 degree shutter and then try to go and key that. That's horrible. So yeah, 90 or 45, and then go back in and add some motion blur in for sure. Very, very common. Yep, like exactly there. Color Space Transform. Yep, okay. In Canada, Canada. Yeah, y'all are the same in Canada, which is weird. Y'all are British everywhere, England, but you're like, we're kind of North America. We're gonna do 23976 or 23976 built on the 59.9 standard. Thanks, America. We'll try the 48 timeline for sure. Yep. Brandon says, you see the new threefold video that just dropped? Modded pocket looks cool. I have not. Let's see the threefold, because I was burning lids. Where we got threefold? Camera we dreamed of. Not photoshopped. Oh, is this another one of the... Interesting. That's interesting. I mean, why not? I know there was the original mod for the original pockets that gave a flip out screen. That was pretty cool. Looks awesome. Yeah, I like the threefold guys. They're pretty cool. What else is there? Man, I caught up to all the comments. That's so weird for me. I even made notes of things to talk about today that we have not followed. Let's see, live stream topics. So if y'all haven't watched Reacher on Amazon, it's really good. It's Jack Reacher book series. Love that stuff, if you like that kind of thing. Reacher Season 2 just came out. They just dropped the first 3 episodes, and we get a new one every week. It's pretty good. Family Plan on Apple TV Plus. Red just dropped the trailer for that. I think it's out today. I'm actually going to resubscribe to Apple TV Plus just to watch this movie because it looks funny and good. Just watch the trailer of it. And I literally wrote down that Netflix conspiracy movie because I don't know what it is. I can't remember the name of the movie. The entire time, Cindy and I were watching it, I kept saying, what's the name of this movie? What's the name of this movie? It's the Leave the World Behind or something, I don't know, something like that. It's a really good conspiracy movie. Don't try to read too much into it. Just follow the story. I like that. It was really good. There's also a new one from A24, the Civil War movie. That looks really interesting. The Cook, I am doing sound on my little short in there. All the tests, all of that has been done. All the B-roll tests are all edited in there. I just got to do the sound for that, then re-review everything, and then do the review. That will come out very soon. The Proteus, if y'all watched the Proteus video, there was a something out of spec in the Proteus anamorphics that I had that caused the excessive CA to show up. And it was like, Lawa was like, what the hell is this? We do not see this. It was wild because I was like, this is what I was doing. This is how I do it. This is everything. And they did finally figure out what it was and how it's literally the lens is not in spec, and so they are going to send them back to me and going to redo it because they said the CA is nothing like what I experienced, and so I'm hopeful for that. So there'll be a redo of that, well, an update video for that out there. Ranger zooms, Nanlux 2400B. I'm using the heck out of that. If you could think about the salt, what kind of video you'd want to do with some salts, you need a lot of light. The Osmo Pocket 3 video is actually coming out, and there's a couple more videos coming too. Leave the World Behind, yeah. Interesting yeah, the camera work in there is really interesting. I have some theory. Well, there was a lot of moves that were clearly you could find the cut in the wall. Like when they would go through a wall, there was a cut there. That was relatively easy to pick up. The car one, really interesting because it like blew me away at first. I was like, how did they do that? And then I think I clicked, and it's just like, oh, there is no car. It's 4 people sitting in chairs on a green screen, and everything else is added in, is my guess. And then the entry, see, I'm trying not to give away spoilers. These are just scenes the entry scene into the big house. That one was really somewhat disoriented actually at times, but I have a feeling that was done with cables and suspending a gimbal from a cable that could go up and down and traverse in directions. We'll see. Those I would love to see breakdowns. I would totally love to interview the DP on that one. I saw Godzilla -1 yesterday. It's all right. That Civil War movie looks crazy. Why does it feel like it's subliminal advocacy? I'm not. I don't want to go in any way into politics, so don't read politics into this. And that's what people were saying. Well, I didn't like that one movie because of this, or I did like the movie because of this. Like, just leave politics out of the movies. If there's a secret whatever from one side or the other, whatever, it doesn't change the fact that the movie can be good or not if you can divorce yourself from politics. But I have to wonder, who is on what side in that Civil War? And I have a feeling that it is opposite of what today is what my guess is. Because the weird thing is they say California and Texas, these are just in the trailers, I'm not spoiling anything. California and Texas had seceded from the Union and formed an alliance. Well, Texas and California are not on the same page as politics-wise. So it's interesting that they would do that, but I can see where they would go with it. So I'm interested to see what they do and how they do it. And the best way that they could do it is not do it, like not be political. Just say it's the slug party and the snail party, or something like that. They won't do that, but that would be a cool way to do it, and not try to alienate, because there's some people that can't divorce it, and it's tough. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I like movies. It does feel wild that we have like a bunch of these conspiracy theory roller coaster rides happening in movies over and over. It's kind of interesting, especially with the contentious election coming up. Yes, indeed. I saw that Sam Esmail was the guy behind Leave the World Behind. Let me guess. He frames people with tons of headroom in it. I don't... Ollie, do you remember? Carlos, did you see it? I don't remember that. What I do remember, and oh man, how do I say it without the lead actress? I feel like some lens choicing, some framing made her less flattering. She has some wild facial features. She really does, and she's a very pretty woman, but she has a very, very large mouth. It's weird. It's a giant smile for sure, but when you frame her certain ways, it kind of makes her look weird. And I felt like there was a lot of unflattering angles and lens choices on her. Yeah, it was weird. There was one shot with tons of headroom. Interesting. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I need to rewatch it because there was a bunch of stuff I missed. Brandon says, wasn't there a ton of like blue in all the shots? What was that supposed to mean? I mean, to me, I saw people were saying, why are the Obamas involved in this movie? What exactly? What I saw was let's see, how do I phrase it? not choosing political, but just choosing it without destroying the movie for anybody. In societal breakdowns, do people revert to less cohesive societies? I think that's the lesson they were trying to teach, is what does happen in a societal breakdown like that? Who does like who and who doesn't like who, and does it get worse or does it get better? Because it's weird because you don't know. That's kind of what I felt like. I don't know what the blue was. Yeah, it's an interesting one. The father and daughter outside the house. Their heads were literally lower than the bottom third. Yeah, I think that one was... There was things happening right before and after that I think is where that shot comes through. It would be multifactional, much different than traditional two-sided conflicts of the past. A film that lenses it through that view could be compelling. It's true. I agree with that. The way I always phrase it to people, and I said it the same way in that movie, was if you take politics out, because in the end, it's rather funny, but both sides can see themselves as either the hero or the evil side or what have you in those movies. And I always use the movie V for Vendetta as an example, because, and not going into why, but if you look at both sides from a polarized political standpoint, both sides think that the evil government is the opposite. Both sides do. And it's rather compelling. If you can divorce yourself from the politics, you can see it both ways, and it's wild. And I could see it both ways in that movie the other day. And in the Civil War movie, it would be awesome and non-polarizing if they shot it in such a way that it could be multifactional, like Mark's saying, because it would allow certain people to watch it who wouldn't watch it, and other people who would dismiss it to watch it. It's so weird how people throw up fences. This is just weird. It's all lighting, right? No, not with her. No, there was a very pretty woman. That is terrible. Sorry. She is. What I was trying to say was she is a pretty woman, but her facial features can be exaggerated in a negative way that don't make her look as pretty. And it's a horrible thing to say, I guess, and I really don't mean it in any disrespectful way, because there are ways you can shoot someone more flatteringly. Mark says reds and greens were prevalent. The map, the shot of the red leaves on the single tree contrasted with the green trees in the background. There was so many like plot holes in the whole thing that made no sense, which leads me to believe that they were just trying to tell a more basic story of what happens if society breaks down. Because there's like parts you're like, so wait, you're telling me that you two, but yet there's some easy proofs there that could be done, but they don't prove them. And it's just weird. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but watch it and let me know your thoughts. And then there was Kevin Bacon was hilarious. I thought He is funny. He is also an interesting guy who, if shot properly, looks way younger than he actually is. Because if you saw the Guardians Christmas, was it Christmas or Halloween? What was it? Guardians Christmas special, right? Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. Kevin Bacon did not look flattering in that. It was not good. Oh, I was referring to her being in Pretty Woman. Yeah, okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, so as Forrest Gump would say, that's all I've got to say about that. Sorry. Get it, boo. Yay! My butterfly grid finally arrived. Weeks and weeks and weeks of waiting. Oof. Ooh, did y'all know I'm live on YouTube right now? All right, who's got viewpoints, conversation, topics, questions, all those good things? Because you know how it works. You don't provide anything, I just start talking about salt and pepper. That's all I'm going to do. Come on, let's bring some conversational starters in here. Let's get this party going. Yeah, Mark, I will check that out and let you know. Did I go with the Chinese one? I did, and that's why it took forever. I mean, it literally sat with a shipping label attached for like 10 days before it even moved. And then it went to Shanghai, and then it sat in Shanghai for no reason. And I don't know. And then magically, like, I got a message or email yesterday saying it would be here today. I'm like, what? So I'll let you know how it is, Ollie. I hope it's good. I mean, it's really simple. It shouldn't be that difficult, but by golly, people can screw stuff up anyway. Did I eat anything spicy this week? My first meatloaf was a little too spicy. I was trying it in the ways that a lot of people make it, with cayenne and a bunch of other things in there to try to give it something. And I think there's room in meatloaf for some spice, but not a whole lot. I think what everybody don't like about no meatloaf, what everybody doesn't like about meatloaf, because there are people that just don't like meatloaf, is it's a funky, if it's poorly made, it's a funky set of texture. Well, it's not even a set of textures, it's just a funky texture. With kind of a non-cohesive flavor profile. So you get something on the outside that's kind of sweet, spicy, and tangy. The inside you get kind of blandish, and then people don't care for that. There's definitely techniques in meatloaf that help it. And I don't think super spicy is it. Savory is important. We need end of year Scott Awards, best cameras, lenses. I don't think I'm enough of anybody to give out awards. What we could do though is do a end of year Scott Award. Which live stream was the most out of sync? Which one went so horribly wrong? That'd be Komodo X. Would it? That fabled 30-minute audio issue. Oh, those would be fun. I just, best lenses, best cameras. I don't know. If I ever became somebody, I'd be happy to do that. I just think it'd be silly for me to give an award and people be like, thanks, you gave me an award from you. Thanks. Baxter says, I made an early Christmas dinner that was divine with chicken. Well, tell me about it. Tell me about the divine Christmas dinner with chicken, because chicken is one of those, you gotta impart flavor into it. I am doing a prime rib again this Christmas. Oh yeah, smoked prime rib. Heck yeah. Matt says, Phil Holland discussed last week ND behind the lens drop-in or kipper tie versus front matte box. He doesn't like the behind the lens ones. What about you? I don't have the problem. Well, I don't run into near as many situations where behind the lens is a problem, but he is correct in that where you put them changes how they operate. It changes how your lens operates. A lens that was formerly always gorgeous, and then you put something behind it, you've now changed the lens. You put something in front of it, not necessarily have you changed it. But there's a right and a wrong for everything. But there are situations where putting it behind the lens is too much talking, not enough drinking. Where putting it behind the lens imparts negative characteristics, especially in sunlight's blasting through. So yeah, I can see both, and I do use both. I do, when I'm running for just, I need the speed, then drop-ins is typically what I'm using. But for the most part, I still use a matte box, and I prefer to use those breakthrough NDs on the front. It's just, it looks the best to me. Right, all right. Who's got some more? Who's got some more? I haven't even looked. Do we have any thumbs upuses? Oh, we have a lot of thumbs upuses. That's nice. That's nice. We can have some more thumbs upuses. Y'all want some more thumbs upuses? Y'all can put a couple more thumbs upuses out there. Let's see here. What other things are there out there that you would like to chit chat about? Any movies that you're all looking forward to? Anything cool coming up that's y'all are working on? Because I will turn this bus around right now. I will do it. Real deals. Interesting. Let's see here. Baxter said, sweet potato, green beans, broccoli, peppers, and just some seasoned chicken and an apple pie. Well, yeah, I mean an apple pie. And I did a lemon dressing. So, yeah, lemon, lemon with some vinegar to cut does some amazing stuff in flavors. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Ooh. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything or not. So I'm not going to be too specific, but I'm going to say watch Mutiny tonight on the Book of Faces and probably the Grams, because, oh heck, I'm just going to say it. Pre-orders for their breakout side plate for Komodo X. Pre-orders start tonight. So hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna accidentally just kind of go. I believe it. Don't let anybody know. But yeah, so if you're looking for a side plate with the breakouts built in with all your mount points along there, and you haven't found the one that you like yet, watch Mutiny tonight. That'll be fun. Matt says, Arca Swiss base plate, mid 49 versus Manfrotto, bright tangerine, pros and cons. We'll probably go bright tangerine, but mid 49 looks really interesting. I really like mid 49. I really like a lot of what they're doing. I am not a fan of Manfrotto's plate, period. What I am a fan of, I am and always will be a fan of Arca Swiss, as long as they're to spec. Arca Swiss is fantastic, but as I have gotten to be a bigger boy, shooting bigger cameras, bigger lenses and such, I have come to very much respect and use the airy dovetail standard as well. So both of those are the ones that I would recommend that you look towards, depending on how you rig. If you rig big, you might want to consider more RE dovetail, in which case bright tangerine does make a really nice platform with RE dovetail on it. Mid 49 also, I did a full review on that one. Really nice, really nice. And they also do Arca Swiss as well. On the top, which is kind of cool. I do dig that. So, yeah, that's my opinion. I love me some bright tangerine stuff, and I have a feeling there's stuff from bright tangerine coming. I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Can we talk about workflow? Got a specific geek? Bring it up, bro. Let's talk. I can talk about workflow all day. Okay, if not Scott's year-end rewards, next year you should then end up end of the year cinematography gear royale rumble with the winner announced. That would be funny. I would love to do some type of, I don't know, call it a game show, if you will, but where, and you'd probably want like some lighting company to sponsor it, but literally create a clearly focused towards the cinema filmmaking industry, but like a mini game show of, top DP or top gaffer, you put a filmmaker, and it doesn't have to be a pure DP or a Hollywood DP, but maybe you have a Hollywood DP that is the judge, but you have 5 contestants, and you give them 2 lights. You give them a camera and a lens, or what have you. You give them an emotion, and you give them an actor and like 5 little different sets, or 5 sets that are built, and you have them light and shoot. Maybe it's 5 sets. I'm literally coming up with this on the fly, but I would love to do something like this. 5 sets, 5 filmmakers. They each get 1 hour to set up and shoot a 10-second scene of each of these 5 sets with their actor going through it, just so they have some cohesive working relationship with the actor as a director and such. But that would be fun. Just, each week or month you bring on 5 new, and you let them compete. See, and then you got your semifinals, and then you it'll be fun. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Baxter says, what about the Zacuto plate? Zacutos are cool. Zacuto kind of does their own thing. And I mean, they make quality stuff, but if you're going to buy Zacuto, you're going to stay in Zacuto. It's that way, but they're fine. Of course, on airy dovetail, just the detachable plate. Yeah. I got you. So I have 4 detachable plates for Komodo X that go to airy dovetail. Quite frankly, they're all good. The one that there's like the Tilta one. Tilta goes to their standard, which is It's kind of a Manfrotto-y. I don't care for that one. I mean, the Tilta stuff is designed right. It just has the wrong base plate on it. Mid 49 quality stuff. I mean, again, if you're an Arca Swiss, then you buy the Kessler quick receivers, because good God, will it change your life? Which, yeah, well, you can almost see it. There's one right there, quick receiver on my Miller. And Ricky's like, what we good? No, what we doing? What we doing? But yeah, the Kessler quick receivers will change your life. If you don't own 8 of them, if you buy one and you don't own 8 of them in a year, yeah, you're broke like me. Vincent Xavier, happy to be here. Thanks for sharing your time and knowledge. Always happy to help. Always happy if anybody gets anything from it, or if I get anything from anybody, because I definitely love learning from everyone. Right, buddy? Oh, he's so happy. He's like, why are we still here? I know it's after 6 o'clock. Because Mom's not home, which means we just keep live streaming. Yeah, and you have to be careful, buddy, because if I go and touch the wine, then I start doing impressions. Oh, he's like, no, don't do impressions. Mateo, you're back. Vincent, what you got? Any questions? You got any cool things to ask about? All the good things, all the fun things. I'm here. I got nothing else to do until the wifey gets home. I think I want to hit that. I'm going to hit that box of wine. Ooh, I'm going to do it. I mean, don't worry. No, Rex, relax. I'm just, look, wine. I even brought the box in here, so I don't have to go so far. Don't worry. This is just the first class. There won't be any impressions. I haven't gotten any better. Oh. Am I Vivek Ramaswamy? Did I accidentally leave my mic on, or was I pouring a nice glass of peanut Nor? Who doesn't love a peanut Nor? Nice. I'm a fruit-forward kind of wine guy. King says, for mirrorless bodies, map box or drop-in adapter. Same thing. Same problem. It doesn't magic. The issues with boy, he just like zoomed on out, didn't he? Let's get in here. The issues talked about before with map box indies versus he is such a turkey, isn't he? He's doing it on purpose. I mean, he's a filmmaker's dog, so he's got to pick up on this stuff. Now, if I could just get him to go get me, like, hey, give me a Indy 9. Indy 9, Indy .9. Yeah, so it doesn't change if it's a mirrorless or if it's a any other kind of lens. Putting something behind the lens changes the way the lens interacts with the camera. Putting something in front of it does not change the way the lens interacts. It changes the way light interacts with the lens. So you can impart negatives, sometimes positives, to a lens. Sometimes it's you get refractions and reflections inside, and it's kind of weird. I was sure I had 4 quick receivers. Then when I counted, it was 5. I honestly, Ollie, I would love it if you like put a bunch of them in a box and you just like put them in a warm corner. You go inside, you come back the next day, and there's like more. That would be incredible. I can't wait for that to happen because you can't have enough of them. You really can't. Because what happens, they're so fast, you just find places to put them. And so everything is quick. So when I build out a rig and I do an overhead rig or something like that, man, I'm putting quick receivers on every single part so I can go stick, just everything. It's awesome. Best underrated video head, 75 millimeter and or 100 millimeter. Underrated. Man, I will. I don't know. That's a tough one. I, the cold hard truth is there really aren't many, and I really can't think of any because they're either good or they're bad, and there's a reason there is a top tier of tripod heads because it's a completely different level. I do find it interesting that like Sattler versus Miller. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's different in Europe, but I feel like more people say Sattler is better than Miller, and they're really basically the same as far as quality and capability. They're slightly different designs, but they're really. I mean, I love my Miller. My Miller is fantastic, but it's a smaller Miller, and it can't handle the larger rigs that I've been building. And the O'Connor 1030, it had to be done. It had to be done. It had to be done. If you could choose any celebrity chef to promote your salt and pepper on a commercial, who would it be and why? And what dish would they be using it with? Wow. Who would? I mean, if I'm going with a celebrity chef, I'm going to go with my true heart and soul teacher of everything, and that would be Alton Brown. I think Alton Brown would do probably a better job than me of describing what this can do and this can do to your dish. Now, what dish would they be using it with? I'm going to say, because this is the most dramatic and complementary flavor profile change that occurs, is if you put this on a steak. We'll take it a step further. This goes on a steak, so smoked salt, smoked pepper, liberally added to both sides of the steak and the edges, cooked to perfection, however you like it. If you don't eat meat, skip the meat. Then green beans. I want whole green beans. I want just the strings cut off at the end. I want them sautéed in butter with some sprinklings of salt and pepper on there. And then I would like sautéed onions, sweet yellow onions, caramelized to almost translucent but slightly browned. Some garlic in there, and some you could do shiitake, but baby Bella mushrooms, thinly sliced. Saute those up all separately. Combine into a green bean deliciousness with the salt and pepper. And then Alton is going to take it one step further, and he's going to make a delicious homemade vanilla ice cream with a little salt on it and a slight homemade caramel. There you go. That's what he would do. Alton, if you're watching, reach out. Let's do. Okay, I can now edit directly compressed camera files directly reliably. Will I retain that more quality after all is done compared to putting it right away into the right? Oh, absolutely. Always work with whatever has the most information. And that can feel different because you can't go and take, say, an H.265 100 megabit 10-bit file from a Sony camera, put it into your timeline, convert it to ProRes 422 HQ, and then edit it and modify it. It's never ever going to be better than the 100 megabit 422 10-bit H.265. You can't make it better than that. Now, you can make it faster, but by converting, you will do some changes to the file, and you will degrade slightly. You may degrade far less by going into a larger codec, but you will degrade. I would always advocate for using the raw files in your finished product. So if you want to do proxies, and then at the end you say use those raw files, and then it goes back and it uses everything from there, it's going to be better. Patrick says, still afraid of stability issue in complex edit though. I mean, if you have stability issues with complex, with raw data or any of that, then just use proxies. I mean, they're fast. They're so fast to create. I do use proxies here and there, but I don't use them much. Sattler FSB series is underrated. They do a decent job. Interesting. I don't think that they're underrated though. I think that series is a hard pill to swallow for people because it's such an increase in price. I haven't seen anything from Benro in a long time. I kind of thought Benro was going to start to really elevate their game, and they kind of didn't. They did the one, and it just kind of vanished. I haven't seen anything from it. Threefold guys actually did one on it. I wanted to get my hands on one. Couldn't do it. What mat box and drop-in adapter do you recommend? So if you're going to do a drop-in adapter, just buy the Canon drop-in adapter. But I recommend the drop-in filters from Breakthrough, because the Breakthrough ones don't have hardly a color shift at all. Matte box, I really like the Bright Tangerine, the Misfit Atom. If you are going to spend more money and you want more flexibility, the Misfit Kick is their best all-around matte box. I have the Viv back there. I have two Misfit Atoms. Well, I have a Misfit Atom, I have a Misfit Pola, and then I have a Viv. And the Viv is a fantastic one, but it's just pretty rare that you're using it over the smaller ones nowadays because they're capable. And the Misfit Kick does everything and it's small. Kevin says, considering getting a smaller camera for gimbal work on a RS3 Pro, possibly FX3 or Komodo X. Not sure if I still have the money to drop on Komodo X. I hear you. Komodo X will fly wonderfully on the RS3 Pro. The FX3 will fly better because it's lighter weight. The FX3 will give you lower light abilities than Komodo X. And the FX3 is not going to make you question your life's choices. The Komodo X, it might. It's pretty good. But I hear you on that. Scott says, Bright Tangerine Misfit Kick, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you got it. I mean, the kick is awesome. It really is. I don't own one because I have basically everything that they have. And I have literally thought about selling all these and just getting the kick because it is so versatile. I find myself grabbing the Misfit Atom 9 times out of 10. It's simple, it's affordable, and the rubber outside, I love that because you bump into something, you're like, oops. So Ollie gets 2 points. Okay. Have you seen Red's latest deals in Komodo X packs? Yeah, 15% off the Red Komodo X pack. So Komodo X, get the camera, or you get the camera, you get the monitor, you get the stuff and the things. You get all the right parts for there, and you get 50% off. 15% off. As far as I know, Ollie, I think they end at the end of the year. Because the way he said it was it was like to help everybody get back on strike for the rest of the year or something like that. He phrased it that way. So that's what I'm guessing. Not too soon, I hope. Yeah. I've seen the deals. Yep. Cool. Regarding City Shooter, am I correct that you can switch between two sets of keyframes for example, if I have two keyframes on a person on stage, I can flip to two keyframes facing the crowd and they keep alternating. There is a way you can do that by using the iPad app of Chaos and the event mode. What happened? Oh, hi, there I am. Using Chaos for iPad in the event mode. And you could do it in, I think, the City Shooter app on the phone. You'd be able to do it by, you set your transition time between your keyframes, and then all you're going to do is just tap the keyframe you want to go to, and it'll take 10 seconds to get there. Event mode is ideal for that kind of stuff because you can set a whole bunch of different keyframes, and then you tell it, go here to here, when I say do that one, and it's going to go through that timing. Now, it's not super flexible. You have one setting, basically, like, take 10 seconds to go here. So it's not going to sit there and loop back and forth until you tell it to go over here. So you can't do that. But the live Chaos live stream will be happening soon. Now I just got to figure out where to place it during the next couple of weeks. Hopefully that answers your question, Ali. Is there a website for discontinued camera upgrade licenses? Not that I'm aware of. It's interesting. I honestly doubt there ever would be, because the manufacturers are never going to want that out, because it would hurt their business in the future. Yeah, I don't think so. Need to dig into it more. Cheers. Yeah, check out the event mode. I use it like when I do the cooking show. I've used it quite a bit. Not so much on the last couple, but it allows you to just get those camera moves in there, and you just go boop boop, and take 30 seconds to go from here to here. Baxter says, I just bought a Sony F5, but it only does 2K internal. Yes, because it didn't have they use the side-by-side cards, right? It just didn't have the bandwidth to do it. You had to use external. The F55 would do it internal. Right? That's so long ago. Right? I feel like it is. What just happened? There we go. Ollie says, every time I pick up the sled, I thank you for this. Thank Eric, really, because all I do is I connect people to stuff, and I connect people to people. That's what I do. So thank Eric. Eric is doing it, but yeah, they're well, okay, I see what you're saying. I will take credit for that. I believe they would have got there pretty soon. I mean, because it's a natural fix. But yeah, the sliding trucks are like chef's kiss. But with the license, it will. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would ever allow it. What about the new small rig 99 Pro battery? I like the USB charging, but I really don't want to cheap out on batteries. Looking for Anton Bauer Titan Micro instead. I have not tried the small rigs. I know several people who use them. They say they're fine. I wouldn't mind trying the new ones because of that. What I can't say is all the things that you love, all the things that you want, none of the things that you don't like soon. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying another word about that. Well, what slider do you prefer? I'm a big Kessler guy, and I have always been a Kessler guy because their stuff works really, really well. I use the Cine sliders a lot for second angle. I'm just looking for where they are. I was going to grab one. Here's one. Okay. I was like, where are they perched precariously at the moment? Man, I had to find the big one. Man. Can I find the smaller one? I don't want to pull the big one out. That's a 5-footer. It's huge. Let me see where the 3-footer is. It's okay, Rex. I'll be right back. There's the 3-footer. I see you. There you are. Ooh, ooh. And I'll explain why. I'm a big fan. Sorry, I had to lean over. When you're older, making noises makes everything easier. Okay, this is a Kessler Cine slider. It is a beast, and it doesn't fit in the picture here because it's 3 feet long. And it has a motor on it right now, but it is really well engineered. The sides are aluminum on the sides with protected carbon fiber on the inside for the actual rails that the sled rides on. It's really good for, like, if you mount it with 2, you can put like 35 to 50 pounds on it. That comes in like 2 foot, 3 foot, and 5 foot. It's a little heavy, but it's because it's really stout, and it is it's not super wide, but really good. It is travelable. I travel with it in a ski bag. So oddly enough, most airlines will let you bring a pair of skis for free. And did you know that a tripod and a 3-foot Cine slider happens to fit perfectly in a double ski bag for free? So that's the one that I like as a second cam angle because it's extremely versatile as far as it can handle a lot of weight, or you can do little stuff. You can go vertically with it if you put a motor on it. There's a lot you can do with it. And it is motorizable and programmable with Kessler stuff. So if you want to do it manually, you can just put your tripod head on there and go manual. If you don't, then go from there. If you're going bigger, then the shuttle dolly, which is what Ollie was just talking about. And the shuttle dolly is not quite. Let's see. Maybe I can get it out. Let's see. What's under it? Oh my. Cynthia gonna be mad at me if I pull this out. Yeah, well, what I won't do for people on my live streams, I'll do it all because I care. Ugh. Let me switch to the wide here, see if it helps any. Okay, so this is the shuttle dolly from Kessler, and what Ollie was talking about is the compactness of this dolly. It looks really silly right now. It's because these legs, if you look right here, you can unscrew these, and they go out, and then they lock in. And now they all do this. So there's a slot here. And the reason Ollie says thank you is because the original version didn't have these slots. And I said, can you just put a slot in here, and then you could just tighten them down? And they're like, yes, we can. And they did. This thing is a beast. It can handle like 150 pounds. It doesn't weigh as much as you think. I mean, it is a solid piece of aluminum here, and these trucks are really good. These wheels, so these are their new, I forget what they call them. He has a name for them, but they're really wild. They're soft, but they're hard. And that is literally how you would describe them. The problem with Dana dollies are great. Dana dollies, they work like a champ, and they're pretty affordable, and you can find them used. But the problem with the Dana dolly is their wheels are soft, really, really soft, because they're designed to be used on speed rail. If you've ever picked up a stick of speed rail from your grip house, that thing's been beat to heck. It's got every kind of grip attached to it, so it's got scuffs and everything. So you want a nice soft wheel on there to roll over that and not hit marking vibrations. These gray ones here, well, originally they came out with these black ones that were very, very hard. They were designed to be used with Kessler's rail that they sell, which is really good rail, and it screws together, and it's portable, so they're transportable. The problem came in is not everybody wanted to do that. They wanted to have both. But with soft wheels, if you put heavy weight on this, the wheels, and it sits, the wheels would develop flat spots. So you start to do your move, all of a sudden you're going as you're going across. That sucks. You don't normally experience it in Dana dollies with normal non-motorized kind of stuff, because you're usually, you set it up, you get your shot, you're testing it the whole time, and then you go away. But if you left your camera on there all afternoon, and it's a heavy rig, and you came back to do your shot right off the bat, it's going to go. So Kessler searched high and low, and then they formulated this way to get these wheels built. And they're wild. They're rigid wheels, but they have this like soft coating. And they feel, it's hard to tell, but they feel really soft, but they're hard. They don't develop flat spots, but then they roll over speed rail. That's not too bad. You can't roll over like giant dents. That's going to throw anything off. But all the little nicks and stuff goes straight through it. So the shuttle dolly is great for that, and it is has a huge weight capacity. It is really wide. I mean, I have two sticks of 20-foot speed rail that I have, so I could do 20-foot run. The other cool thing about that is you can undersling it, so you can have it go under, and it's also, because it's so strong, it's what I use in my Franken rig. So if you've seen all my big motion control stuff where I've got the arm going everywhere and everything, it's all on the shuttle dolly because it can handle it, and the motors can handle it. And again, it's all Kessler, so you just start sticking on motors, and away you go. And if anybody is in the market for a cine shooter, hit me up. Let me know. I believe I can still get my coupon code to work, and I can give you like $1,000 off a cine shooter. Hit me up, and I will give you a special code to do it. It won't last forever, but yeah, let me know. I can get you a cine shooter. That's a heck of a deal. That's your motion control brain and your X and Y axis. It's cool. Okay. Matt says, from who? Anton Bauer or more? I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. I have been promised to NDA, so I did not actually disclose anything other than more of what you love, none of what you dislike, and soon. That's all I can say. I've had my city slider for 10 years, built like a tank, serviceable, and still really, really, yeah, if you destroy your rails on this issue, you ship it back to Kessler, and it's really inexpensive. They will ship it right back with fresh new rails on it. It is serviceable, and yeah, it's cool. There's one manufacturer who we've been waiting an eternity to see micro batteries from. That's true. That's true, and you're going to keep waiting. It is not in the roadmap. I wish it was. I really do. But why do you use it artistically wise? Why truck the cam left and right in an interview? They all do that. What's the point? Oh, simple, Patrick. If you're doing a simple interview, you got a static person here. Hi, my name is so-and-so. And you go to a B cam, it's like, and I'm also so-and-so. And you do that so you can hide your cuts and your edits. Doing a motion, it brings an emotion to your interview. It's odd, but if you happen to notice the movement in there, and you're going to see them, all of a sudden, that interview feels different to you because you slowly have this person just kind of just slowly turning on there, and it just gives you. The way I would describe it, Patrick, is we're drawn to motion. We're kind of like sight hounds and dogs. They see a squirrel, they're like, squirrel. So we're focused, laser-like focused on what the person's saying, and they happen to be talking about quantum physics, and you're like, oh my God, he's still talking about quantum physics. And then all of a sudden you go to a motion shot, and he's still talking about motion physics, but we're drawn to it because it's motion. It's a way to build in more into your interviews. I mean, there's always reasons to move, but that's why you do the truck left and right. You can also do a push in. If you, and this would not be an interview. You would rarely do it on an interview because as soon as they say the right thing, you'll be going the opposite direction. But you're going to dolly in when somebody's about to say something super important, and that is the secret to life. You dolly in and you get out of focus. Like me, you dolly in to bring in what it's important that you pay attention, or you dolly out and why is the world opening up? What is it around you that is the world is your oyster? That's kind of the phrasing. Same thing can be if you truck left or right on someone, if you start moving, but the person is still talking the same thing, we're now going to anticipate where the camera is moving to, there's something. So if I just start kind of cruising off like this, something is going to happen over here. So it's an emotion, it's a character, it's how you enhance an ordinary scene. I have no problem actually with locked off shots. I think it's still cool. But motion works like a champ at drawing you in. Remove the flatness of a shot. Yep, it can do that too. Yeah, those wheels are a must. CVP still don't have them. Really? Can you not get them from, does B&H, is it really impossible to get from B&H? Because I feel like the price should be the same, because even if they sell them there, because they're manufactured here, you still have to pay the same VAT tax, don't you? I don't understand these tax things. So the threefold BM mod is a Kickstarter, 5 years too late. Wait, Ollie, were you watching another video while you're supposed to be on this live stream? I'm hurt, I'm devastated. Not really. I was probably talking about salt. See, Nick says, what are your thoughts on tentacle syncs versus deity TC1s? They both work. I mean, there's no love or hate. Well, there's love, but I mean, there's no hate with either of them. They both work. The TC1s are more affordable than the tentacle syncs. There is more because Tentacle Sync is mostly a timecode company, and now they're starting to play with some audio. And Deity is an audio company that branched out to sync. There's an ecosystem there that you need to keep your eyes on and or invest in because they work cohesively together. And I mean, Deity makes it's quality stuff. They've had some stuff in the past that was like lesser, but the stuff now, it's top. What there I am. I'm going again. It's top stuff. It's really good. So one versus the other, they both work. If you own tentacle sinks, just keep buying tentacle sinks. If you don't have either, consider the pricing. They both do exactly the same. And Tentacle's like, oh, well, we also record audio. Yes, you can do that on your Trackees, but so can Deity on their other stuff. So there's, Theos. That's all I got to say about that. If you are looking for a review on the TC1s and the Slate, I did a review on those a year or two back, probably 2 years back. They're still just as solid, and I use them all the time. I have 4 of the little TC1s. They work like a champ. The Slate has its own in there, and then the new wireless packs that are just now shipping out, those have timecode in them as well. Would you choose those new over the Orbiter? Probably. The Orbiter was honestly several years late and probably twice as expensive as it needed to be. It's a cool light. It does some neat stuff, but it's nothing compared to everything else right now. Aputure, Orbiter, Nanlux. They're all good, but you should see some stuff shortly from both of them. She's home. Really? That's it? That took 3 weeks? Give me that. You put a what on that thing? Did you check the mail? Was my... Huh? Yeah, I'm still on, of course. I'm just not sitting here for my health. Give me those scissors over there. Ollie, we'll see what this is. Right there, dear.
What scissors?
Those. Watch, I'm going to cut through this and then just cut right through it. It's like paper thin. Oh, God, that would be horrible if it was paper. Why is there... Oh, bungee balls, yes. There's that. Interesting name that wasn't on there when I ordered it. Okay. Let's see. See how the quality is. It's in another bag. Yeah, that's good fabric. That's the holes are a little big, but yeah, it should work. I'm never going to get it back in this package. Wow. Wow, I shouldn't have taken this out. This is never going back in here. It's going back in. All right, well, they all know that you're home, so now it's like, oh God, he's gonna, oh wait, I don't need to put it in this. I need to put it in the bag that I can't reach. If I reach too far, it'll just undo everything on this side. Okay, so this has got to shove all in here, just like everybody does. It goes straight in a bunch. Not bad. Definitely cheaper as far as price-wise. Build quality-wise, it kind of looks like every butterfly grid, 50 degree. We got it back in the bag. Now what? Now what do I do? Now I go, cha-ching. Ta-da. Oh, and the budgie balls. Here, take these away. Don't run. Scissors, don't run. Okay, let's see here. Uh-huh. That's where they all were. Are you making dinner? Okay. Sure, but there's not a whole lot, but and Alfredo, I guess. Sure. Oh, I have to share it. That's the RF 200A I Wish unboxing video. B&H don't have the ultra thing. Give Jason a call at Kessler and see what they can do. They've got to be able to get you something. It can't be that expensive. How much for the salt and pepper? I don't have the price set exactly. And even saying the numbers, I have to say it around, and it's likely going to be slightly more, but 2 ounces of pepper in the jar around $10, and the 4 ounces of salt around $10. Hopefully everybody doesn't go, that's expensive. Hopefully. I'm trying to keep the cost as low as possible and make it worthwhile without, destroying Superman. The Mutiny thing just went live, by the way. Just went live on the mutiny.store/products/x-side. So, yeah. Aputure needs to do us a solid release in Amaran 8-foot and 6. That'd be interesting. I don't know why they don't get into it. They definitely, the thing with Aputure is they have like 2 different qualities of accessories. And I don't mean Amaran and Aputure, but like, there are some things like the light dome, light dome 2, the light dome 3, the big 5-foot light dome, high quality. The soft box for the Nova 600, okay. Literally the rods broke. They're metal. They should not break. I had to buy new rods to replace them. They broke. I thought that was like, what? Then they have that 6090, which is a 2x3 softbox. It's really, really cheap, so I get it. That thing is a nightmare to put together, and I think I said that on the review. With shipping and taxes, I'll be paying almost $600 for the wheels. Wow. Man. Mutiny might make the best accessories for Komodo OG and Komodo X, and now they're into Ember, and a bunch of other things too. It's time to move to Burbank. Well, yeah, I mean, he's not going to afford it more by moving to Burbank. Who saw Napoleon? Should I see it this week? Everybody I said don't see it. Laughy, laughy. Okay, it's been, 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's an hour longer than, oh, Rex is like, oh, man. He's like, I'm so tired. Did you get a sticker? He's like, geez, Dad, your live stream stinks. Moving here should be more cost effective than paying shipping for a single item to South London. I don't know. I did read a lot of articles about Austin, and the tech community is leaving Austin because the prices are housing market is through the roof, and it's insane. I don't know how anybody can afford to live in Austin now. It's unbelievable, and yeah, unbelievable. All right. I say we're going to end this now at 3 hours and 15 minutes and 3 hours and 16 minutes and 0 seconds. I think it's been a good live stream. I think we've had a lot of fun. Be on the lookout for scottybgoods.com. I will post it like crazy on the social medias. And mutiny.store right now, the live pre-order for the Komodo X side thing. So that's good. Jump on that. Yeah, Austin had a good 10-year run being California junior. It's probably more like 15, but yeah, it was wild. It's done now. But yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being so supportive and friendly and fun and interactive through the years. And so this is the last stream of the year? No, who told you that? Let me see. Nope, I plan on being here next week and the weekend after. The 22nd and the 29th, I see no reason I won't be live streaming. So yeah, I will definitely be streaming at least one more time, probably two. So yeah. Thank you all. Time to gift Ollie Cole. Ollie gets more than Cole. He's a good dude. All right. Y'all have a wonderful, fantastic weekend. Go enjoy some wonderful things. And when you're making dinner, I want you to think about, Applewood smoked salt and pepper would add a next level of refinement and expansion of these flavor profiles. ScottyBGoods.com soon. It's probably a pretty lame holding page right now. Adam, have a nice weekend. Yeah, got it. We'll see if I remember next week. Larry, everyone have a great weekend. And yeah, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Fishing hell about that. Thanks. Have a good one. Stay sharp and in sync. Thanks. You just ruined the rest of the year. I'll be like 10 seconds out of sync. Peace out. All right. Y'all have a good weekend. Bye.